Good evening, faculty, staff, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, and most importantly, family, friends, and our agency partners. Welcome to Stanley Community College Basic Law Enforcement graduation for the spring 2024 class. My name is David Esposito. I'm the director of the BLET program. Please join me in welcoming the cadets of the 2024 spring class. If you are able, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Cadets, Webb, base. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Cadets, right, base.
Please be seated. The spring graduation class, this coincides with National Police Week. This is a time for us to honor the men and women in law enforcement who put their lives in danger every day. Tragically, on April 29th, as the cadets were preparing for their final POPAT, we received the news that 4 brave members of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force were killed in the line of duty in Charlotte. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember CMPD officer Joshua Iyer, North Carolina Department of Adult Corrections officers Sam Pelosi and William Elliott, and Deputy U.S. Marshal Thomas Weeks. Thank you. David Hunt will now give tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, it's with grateful hearts as we come before you, thanking you for the many blessings that you give us each day. We're grateful for those who are willing to stand in the gap to protect us and keep us safe. I pray for protection over each man and woman who are brave enough to put on the uniform day after day and perform the duties that you have appointed them to do. Give them strength and courage in the face of danger. Encourage them as they face dark and difficult days, and provide them with a peace that only comes from you. Be with their families, give them an understanding of the demands of the job, help them to support their officers, and to be there for them at the end of a difficult shift. Finally, let us care for each other, be there for one another, and love one another just as you love us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now I'd like to introduce the members that will be joining me on stage this evening. Dr. John Ennemite, President of Stanley Community College, Dr. Kara Finch, Dean of Public Services, and David Hunt, the Assistant BLET Director. Just want to give you a brief history about BLET and what these cadets have gone through over the past 4 months. Standardization for law enforcement officers began in the early 1970s in a response to a growing concern for increased accountability. 2 advisory councils laid the groundwork throughout the 1970s by adopting minimum employment standards and basic training standards. By 1978, the minimum hours were increased from 160 hours to 240. At this time, all criminal justice officers in the state were included under the council's regulatory authority. On January 1st, 1980, the 2 councils were dissolved to create the North Carolina Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission. Sheriffs and their deputies continued under this jurisdiction until September 1983, when the General Assembly established a separate Sheriff's Commission. Since the 1970s, law enforcement training has continued to evolve. In 1997, the first pilot course for the new BLET 2000 curriculum was tested at the North Carolina Justice Academy. 6 more pilot sites were added in the spring of 1998 to also test this curriculum. The basic law enforcement training, or what we refer to as BLET, curriculum is designed to prepare entry-level individuals with the cognitive and physical skills needed to become certified law enforcement officers in the state of North Carolina. Today, the curriculum comprises of 36 separate blocks of instruction that include topics such as law enforcement driver's training, motor vehicle laws, arrest, search, and seizure, elements of criminal law, and firearms, just to name a few. The BLET curriculum employs practical exercises and an extensive ethics section throughout the training experience. The BLET course has been thoroughly researched, legally reviewed, and contains the most current law enforcement information available. The commission mandated 640 hours course takes approximately 16 weeks to complete and concludes with the police officer's physical abilities test, commonly referred to as the POPAT, and a comprehensive written state examination. This past Friday, 6 of our students were able to sit for that such exam and have been anxiously awaiting those results. And I'm happy to say, as of 5 o'clock, when I received word that all 6 of those students have passed that examination. And upon completion of that written examination, the BLET trainee is now eligible to be sworn as a law enforcement officer in the state of North Carolina. Currently, the BLET curriculum is in the final stages of another review. It will expand from 640 hours to 868 hours beginning in January 25. Now it is my distinct honor to introduce the president of Stanley Community College, Dr. John Enoch.
Good evening. That was weak. Good evening. Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty and staff at Stanley Community College, it gives me, let me try to say that again. Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Trustees at Stanley Community College, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this celebration of our newest graduates at Stanley Community College. This celebration brings us all together to highlight the success of these graduates as they embark upon their new careers. Graduation, commencement, is a happy time in the life of a college and a happier time in the life of a student. We are fortunate in community colleges that we have opportunities to celebrate many times during the year as we meet the short-term workforce needs of our community. There are a number of people present in the audience tonight that bears recognition, and I want to take a moment now to recognize some of them. A member of our Board of Trustees, the chair, is present with us tonight, Mr. Joe Brooks. Joe, thank you for taking time out of your schedule being with us tonight. In addition, we have a Stanley County Commissioner with us tonight, Brandon King. Thank you, sir, for spending time with us tonight. We have other members, other faculty and staff present as well, members of the executive leadership team and other faculty and staff present. Thank you for being with us tonight. And if you would, let's give them a round of applause. Stanley Community College certainly is very fortunate to have some of the best faculty and staff, not just in the area or the state, but in fact the nation. This is evidenced by our recent ranking as being the second best community college in the United States. So we have empirical data to support the fact that we do have really great faculty and staff. And these faculty and staff are who have helped you get to where you are. Right? I am grateful and fortunate to have the opportunity to work with all of these faculty and staff. And I will say this is the 4th graduating class we have had under the leadership of Mr. David Esposito, our BLET training director. Of course, helping him along the way is David Hunt, the qualified assistant for BLET. We're really fortunate to have both of you with us leading our BLET program. I do look forward to seeing what the program continues to be. And in the future, I know that y'all will do well with the revised standards coming in January. Working alongside them, though, are many other folks, including Mr. John Lanier, Program Head of Criminal Justice, Ms. Marissa Trent, the BLET Administrative Assistant, Ms. Tony Rory, the Success Coach for BLET and Criminal Justice, Dr. Kara Finch, the Dean of Public Services, Ms. Christy Honeycutt, the Associate Vice President of Health Sciences and Public Services. All of these folks had something to do with you sitting in these seats tonight. To all of you, I hope that you, along with me, recognize the hard work and efforts of each one of these individuals that I have recognized tonight. They have worked hard to try to help you be successful and be ready for what lies ahead. There are just a few things that I'd like to say before I have a seat. First, law enforcement is certainly one of the noblest of professions. It goes without saying that it is sorely needed in our community and across the nation. We should all acknowledge the sacrifices that have been made and will be made by law enforcement to make our communities safer and better places. Even though a few bad apples can take up a disproportionate amount of screen time in the media, by the news, in social media, these graduates will play a pivotal role in changing the narrative as they serve their communities. Second, BLET, like many of our programs at Stanley Community College, requires a lot of partnerships. Just as these graduates could not be here tonight without the support of you, family and friends, the college could not function without the support of family and friends through partnerships. As an example, students need sponsoring agencies. As another example, the college relies on a number of law enforcement agencies who are the source of our instructors. As yet another example, many of these who are here tonight in the audience also serve on our advisory boards for our BLET and our criminal justice curriculum program. For those of you that are in the audience who partner with the college, you are the connection between our curriculum we teach and the real-life work of enforcing our laws. Through these partnerships, we are able to guide our students as they grow from being individuals with the dream of a career in law enforcement to become well-trained, dedicated public servants upon whom we all rely for the stability and safety of our community. One more point of interest related to partnerships may be apprenticeship program the college recently started. Stanley Community College is working very diligently to increase the number of registered apprenticeships being offered in partnership with our local business and industry partners. An example of this is the recently signed City of Albemarle and Apprenticeship NC apprenticeship program, and we are appreciative of the City of Albemarle for that. We look forward to seeing that apprenticeship program continue to grow. To all of our agency partners and student sponsors, I want to say a heartfelt thank you. Third, to the graduates, thank you for choosing Stanley Community College to be a part of your educational journey. I, along with the faculty and staff I've already mentioned, appreciate the trust that you've placed in us to be the place that you received your education. I'm confident you received top-notch training, 100% passage rate for the 6 of you. That shows that something's going well. Congratulations. This training, though, despite it being top-notch, wasn't easy, was it? Been a tough few weeks, hasn't it? Hasn't been pleasant, but despite the difficulties, it was top-notch. We are now trusting you, though, to go and make our world a better place for people to live and work. Thanks to the top-notch training and your efforts, we know that you will be able to do so. Graduates, congratulations to each and every one of you. You have my best wishes and the best wishes of all of Stanley Community College's faculty and staff. You have all of our best wishes and prayers for your continued success and safety. Thank you.
I'm always honored to be able to introduce our guest, our keynote speaker. The one thing I'm not happy about this year is that when I met our guest speaker, I didn't need these things. It's been almost 30 years. Our keynote speaker tonight is Carla King, who is a lifelong resident of Stanley County and a graduate of North Stanley High School. She's married to Brandon King and has a son, Caleb, and two stepdaughters, Jolie and Joni. Carla attended BLET training in 1994 and upon graduation started her long career in law enforcement with the Stanley County Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant King accepted a position at the Mint Hill Police Department and rose to the rank of sergeant. In 2014, she returned to Stanley County Sheriff's Office as the chief deputy and served there until 2018 when she accepted a position as a special agent with the North Carolina Department of Insurance Criminal Investigations Division. Today, she is the senior special agent for District 2. She obtained her advanced law enforcement certificate from the North Carolina Sheriff's Education and Training Standards Commission and is a graduate of the West Point Leadership Program at Methodist University. So join me in welcoming Senior Special Agent King to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here, and I am truly humbled to be invited to speak to you this evening. My name, like you said, is Carla King, and I am currently a senior special agent with the North Carolina Department of Insurance. I've been with the Department of Insurance for 6 years. I began my law enforcement career at the Stanley County Sheriff's Office in 1994 as the front desk clerk, believe it or not. At the time, there was only one female deputy sheriff in Stanley County. After approximately 1 year at the Sheriff's Office, I began riding with deputies when they had to transport female prisoners or mental health patients. Of course, that was prior to having cameras in your cars. The only female deputy at the time then quit the Sheriff's Office, and the sheriff advised me that I would begin BLET in 2 weeks. I had never even considered the possibility of being an officer. I was not in good shape, so I was absolutely terrified about the physical fitness aspect of BLET. Not to mention I had never fired a handgun before. I began BLET at Rowan Cabarrus Community College, and they gave me a marked patrol car to drive back and forth for the 16-week duration of training. So, funny story, when I was in BLET, of course I had to drive to the Cabarrus County Training Center in Concord. It wasn't even my second week of training. Of course, I'm driving a marked patrol car. I'm not used to driving a marked patrol car. I'm on Lane Street in Kannapolis, and I'm coming back from lunch, headed back to the training center. I'm beside of a car. Lane Street is a 4-lane highway, and the car on the left started to come over, and I knew I was in her blind spot. So I tapped my horn. She swerved back over, and I went around her. Well, as I went around her, the lady driving the car flipped me the bird. I didn't even think about it. Flipped her the bird back. Went on about my business and went back to school. Went to school the next day. Well, on the second day, 2 days after that incident, I got a call where the training center phone rang. Of course, this was prior to cell phones. Training center phone rang. The director came and got me out of class and said, "Your chief deputy needs to speak to you." So, of course, my heart sank. I thought, oh, God, what have I done? But then, I don't know if anybody knows Ted Klutz, but God love him. He talked so slow, and he said, "Carla, you might want to go ahead and dye your hair black while you got a chance." So I thought, what in the world is he talking about? And I said, "What do you mean, Chief?" And he said, "Well, we got a call from a reporter with the Independent Tribune that she had been flipped the bird by a blonde female deputy from Stanley County in a marked Stanley County patrol car." He said, "Well, I know you're blonde, but you're our only female, so we knew it had to be you." And I said, "Well, let me explain." So I told him what happened, and he said, "Well, that's understandable. Most people would probably do the same thing that you did." He said, "But we told her that we would discipline you, so we're going to take away your car for the rest of the week." So I lost that marked patrol car for the additional 3 days. But I was famous before I was ever even sworn because that story made 3 newspapers. The Stanley News and Press, the Independent Tribune, and the Salisbury Post. But luckily, the sheriff never shared my name because he said it was a personnel matter. So I was just known as the female deputy from Stanley County. So later on, when I got back to the office, I had everybody, my nickname was Freebird. They always left mittens in my box for me to start wearing so that I couldn't do that anymore. They gave them to me for Christmas every year. So lo and behold, I started off behind the 8 ball, but I quickly had to learn to adapt and overcome. So hopefully that didn't happen to any of y'all. So you're ahead of the game. So I worked for the sheriff's office from 1994 until 2010, leaving as lieutenant over the investigations division. It's not uncommon for a new administration in the sheriff's office to make personnel changes after an election. I then went to the Mint Hill Police Department, where I strived to be the best officer I could be, because of course I left as a lieutenant over investigations and I had to go back to a slick sleeve patrol officer in Mint Hill. I rose through the ranks at Mint Hill up to patrol sergeant until I left in 2014 to go back to the sheriff's office as the chief deputy. After 4 years as chief deputy, like previously stated, when a new sheriff is elected, personnel changes are made, and I then had the wonderful opportunity to go to work as a special agent for the North Carolina Department of Insurance, and I will retire at the end of June from a long but prosperous career. I commend you all for choosing to enter a profession that has been under scrutiny so much in the past years. Unfortunately, due to some bad decisions made by some questionable officers, you will always fight to defend the honor behind your badge. It's sad but true. Law enforcement is often criticized and demonized by the media. 98% of the people we serve will love you and respect you for the noble job you do every day. Focus on those people so you can better handle those other 2%. The work schedule can be unforgiving at times. A good support system will make or break you. It's sad to say, but not everyone outside this profession understands the struggles that you will experience or the things you can't or won't talk about when you get home after a shift. To the ones in the audience that will be waiting on your officer to arrive home after a long shift, please be supportive and understand that there will be things that he or she cannot or will not talk about. Be patient, give them time to decompress and process things on their own. Please don't make him or her fight for peace at work and at home. It's not sustainable. Women make up just over 12% of law enforcement officers nationwide. Only 3% of those women are in leadership positions. As women, we must work harder to establish ourselves as competent officers. At the end of the day, as women in law enforcement, we share the responsibility for helping to create a supportive culture for our female peers within the policing profession. I always strive to become better, a better officer, investigator, interviewer, etc. Never stop learning. I was successful because of, and in some circumstances, despite being a female. I learned early on that I wanted to be not just a leader, but an effective leader. The kind of leader that was respected, self-aware, trustworthy, confident, honest, and accountable. Those that know me understand that you shouldn't ask me a question unless you truly want an honest answer. I can be brutally honest at times. That's the reason I've made it this far and have the trust of fellow officers. I would never ask someone to do something that I myself would not do. I'm a side-by-side leader, working just as hard, if not harder, than my fellow officers. Don't become narrow-minded. Working in different areas of an agency provides perspective, and perspective brings insight. Discover your niche and pursue what makes you happy. I worked as a patrol officer, a detective in the investigations division, and administration. My passion was special investigations, or crimes against children. It was the most rewarding and the most demanding part of my career. Use your talents and discover what makes you get up in the morning to make this career a rewarding one for you. Be patient. Let me say that again. Be patient. In the law enforcement profession, you normally must wait on someone in a leadership position to retire for others to move up in the ranks. Let time work for you and soak up all the knowledge you need to ensure your success in whatever division you strive to be in. If I could give you some advice, I'd tell you not to get caught up in politics. Do your job to the best of your ability and try to keep politics out of the equation. Also, never doubt your instinct. Sometimes your biggest enemy is going to be yourself. Make good decisions, always keep your head up, and ensure you go home at the end of every shift. In this profession, just like life in general, there will be times when you will make a mistake. Own your mistakes and move on. Just own them. Your integrity is something only you can destroy. A good officer relies on his integrity. Once you lose it, you can never get it back. I probably need to say that again. Once you lose your integrity, you can never, ever get it back, and your career's over. Always be honest and straightforward to ensure a long and prosperous career. It's been my experience that the hardest wounds to heal are the ones that don't always show. Find a confidant, someone you trust, that you can talk to. This job can beat you up on the inside. Don't let it eat you alive. If you're in a position to provide it, everyone on their worst day deserves a little bit of grace. Use your discretion wisely. Again, I commend you all for entering this noble profession. You will make lifelong relationships in this career field. Co-workers will be more like family. This is a true brotherhood. The job will be full of ups and downs, but if you stand strong, you will prevail. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak, but courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Let that sink in. Listen to your training officers. Listen to your victims. Listen to your suspects. Listen and learn every day. You will be afraid. Fear is not weakness. Fear is normal. Don't ever let anyone tell you different. You will often make a difference in someone's life without even realizing it. Keep a positive mindset. It makes a tremendous difference. Teddy Roosevelt showed us the value of hard work, personal sacrifice, love for country, and commitment, to mention a few. There's two of his famous quotes. One of them is, "When you're at the end of your rope, tie a knot and hold on." Boy, that definitely describes what you're going to do day in and day out. Another one is, "In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing." You will have to make split-second decisions that people will scrutinize, like Monday morning quarterbacks. Your decisions might not always be the right ones, but you must make them. Own that decision and move forward. I'll leave you with this. I know y'all ready for me to shut up. As you follow the sheepdog path and place your mind and body in peril daily, you must understand that no one does this job for the money. At the moment of truth, it's love that moves you, love for your nation, love for your way of life, love for your friends, love for your family, and love for your God. May God be with you every step of your journey. Let me be the first one to welcome you to the brotherhood. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you for that wonderful speech. Now it is my honor to introduce our class leader, which just happens to be a female, Sarah Brantley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow graduates. As we stand here today on the threshold of a new chapter of our lives, I am honored to address you all on this monumental occasion. Today marks the completion of our journey through the BLET, a journey that has tested our limits, forged our character, and prepared us for a noble duty of serving and protecting our communities. This journey has been wrought with blood, sweat, and tears from all of us, and I am so proud of everyone in the class for persevering and bringing us to this moment of celebration. Many have failed in the past, including myself, but I am so happy that I didn't give up and came back to climb the mountain with you. It took weeks for us, a group of hard-headed, independent individuals, to work together, but when we did, we excelled to a higher height than most could have imagined. I am proud to be able to stand here and call you my brothers and sisters, although at times I felt more like your mother. Throughout our time here, we have learned not only the ins and outs of law enforcement, but also the values that define it: integrity, courage, compassion, and dedication. These values are mere words, but guiding principles that will shape our actions and decisions as we embark on our careers in law enforcement. As we look back on our time in the BLET program, remember the sacrifices we've made, the obstacles we've overcome, and the growth we've made, both physically and mentally. Just a minute. Whew. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. We have been tested in ways that we could have never imagined. And yet, here we are. Sorry, y'all. Standing stronger, more resilient, and ready to serve our communities with honor and integrity. As we step out into the field, we will undoubtedly face challenges that will test our resolve, our judgment, and our compassion. But let us face these challenges with courage and determination, knowing that we have been equipped with the knowledge and the skills and the support of our fellow officers and our mentors. As we embark on our careers, let us strive to be more than just enforcers of the law. Let us be beacons of hope and strength. Let us be the voice of those who cannot speak for themselves. Seek to build bridges and not barriers. Remember the importance of empathy and understanding. Build trust and strive to make positive difference in someone's life. Let compassion guide us. And remember the importance of empathy, integrity, and courage when interacting with the public. As we celebrate our achievements today, let us remember those who have paved the way for us. The officers who have served before us, the mentors who have guided us, the communities who have placed their faith in us, and our families who have believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. Let us honor their legacy by upholding the highest heights and standards of professionalism, integrity, and service. Thank you to all that have supported us, because none of this would have been possible without you or the Lord walking this journey with us. To Mr. Esposito, without you, none of this could have been possible. And I hope we can surpass your expectations of us in our future careers. To Mr. Lanier, thank you for your countless workouts, push-ups that we despised, and the critical training we needed to even manage SCAT and the POPAT, even if we thought we were dying during some of these sessions. These training sessions helped us build an unwavering confidence in ourselves, a confidence that you had in us all from the start, believing in us when we couldn't believe in ourselves. For that, I'll be forever grateful to you. You are our biggest cheerleader. To Mr. Hunt, thank you for all your dedication and time you have put into making the course push us to be our best and working to help behind the scenes without fail. To Marissa, thank you for being a ray of sunshine every day. You are always smiling, and you have motivated us all when we needed it, from helping us print countless copies of paperwork without a complaint, to being a friend we could talk to when we needed it the most. So thank you. To Ms. Rory, thank you for your guidance throughout this journey. To Dr. Finch, I hope we will make you proud, and thank you for all that you do, including giving us donuts and ice cream. And thank you to all the other instructors that spent hours, days, and weeks with us. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your experience with us. You will never know the impact you've had on us as individuals, as future officers. We will always be grateful for what you've instilled in us. We won't forget the lessons you've taught us, especially the lessons learned the hard way. Sim rounds in your hands are not and will never be friends. I now unfortunately know why it's called sweet meat. And thank you to the departments that have chosen us. Thank you to the departments that have chosen us and taken a leap of faith on us. That means a lot to us, and thank you. And finally, to our families, thank you for your support, encouragement, and love you have given us through this journey. You have believed in us, motivated us, comforted us, and never gave up on us. Let us give up on ourselves. We had some late hours and early morning days where we didn't see each other, but for a few minutes at a time. And I know there were times that we were not the most pleasant to be around. Thank you for never giving up on us and cheering us on. In closing, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you on this remarkable achievement. The road ahead will not be easy, but I have every confidence that together we will rise to meet the challenges before us and make our community stronger, safer, and more united than ever before. Congratulations, graduates. Serve with honor, serve with pride, and above all, serve with heart. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we will present our graduates with their diplomas. Nicholas Ashton, Norwood Police Department.
Yes, good. Yes. There we go. There we go.
Growing pains.
Cody Bennett, Albemarle Police Department. Sarah Brantley, Norwood Police Department. Sarah S., Albemarle Police Department. Rocco Hilburn, Meisenheimer Police Department. Benjamin Jenkins, Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office. Jonathan Callback, Albemarle Police Department. Jawan Neal, Albemarle Police Department.
Thank you, sir.
Joshua Owens, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office.
Trying to make sure you get that picture.
Edwin Ramirez, Norwood Police Department. Jacob Silcox, Albemarle Police Department.
I don't know which camera to look at.
How about a round of applause? Great job. Okay, now we have some awards that we would like to hand out. Get Mr. Hunt to join me up here. The first award we're going to hand out is the Top Fitness Award. And this award goes to Joshua Owens, who has set our record so far for the completion of the POPAT. Congratulations.
He also said he was
All right, the next award is going to be to our top driver. This is the cadet that ran over the least amount of cones on our driving course, and that is Edwin Ramirez. All right, our next award is the Academic Award. This is presented to the cadet that maintained the highest academic average through the portion of BLET, and that is Jonathan Colback.
Congratulations.
The next award is our Top Gun. This is the cadet that achieved the highest score through the completion of our firearms portion of training, and that goes to Edwin Ramirez. Congratulations again. Our next award is our Leadership Award. You know, being a leader is not easy. This individual found out that, you know, when you're on the top, people want to knock you down. So she handled herself very proudly through the BLET, and I'm very proud to present this award to Sarah Brantley. We have one more award. I'm going to read something before we present this. This is the Damon Smith Award. Monday, April 15th, 1996 was a tragic day here in Stanley County. On that day, 29-year-old Oakboro police officer Damon Smith was dispatched to a domestic call. It would be his last call of service. The suspect was waiting for the officers to arrive, and when he saw Officer Smith approach his house, he shot him in the chest with a .30-30 rifle. Officer Smith was wearing a vest, but it was no match for the rifle. Damon died of his injuries and was survived by his wife and his 3-year-old son. Damon was a United States Army veteran, a 2-time graduate of Stanley Community College, where he earned his associate's degree and his BLET certificate. In his memory and in his honor, Stanley Community College awards the Damon Smith Award to the outstanding graduate of each BLET class. Firearms, driver's training, physical training, academic scores are tallied. The BLET staff and instructors look for traits such as good moral character, reliability, a strong work ethic, honesty, leadership, and most importantly, a positive attitude. Having a positive attitude and willing attitude in the field of law enforcement is paramount. You will see horrible things in your career, and you'll have some bad days. Attitude will determine whether or not you will succumb to these pressures or overcome them. In other words, attitude will determine whether you become a victim or victor. Our outstanding graduate and the winner of this year's Damon Smith Award is Benjamin Jenkins.
Way to go, baby!
All right, we're just about done. Before we close, I also want to thank my staff. This program, myself and David Hunt, we started our journey here a couple years ago. This is our fourth graduating class. There's a lot of moving parts to BLET. We put in a lot of hours. The students put in a lot of hours, and my staff puts in a lot of hours. So I want to thank them, especially David that has started this journey with me. My administrative assistant, Marissa, if anybody knows me, I hate paperwork, and without her, I would fail miserably. So thank you. John Lanier, I don't think John's here tonight. He's our criminal justice program head, but he's also our PT instructor. John does a tremendous job with these students to get them physically fit, and up until this point, we have not had a POPAT failure, which is an awesome task. So he does a very good job. I want to thank him. Dr. Kara Finch, she's my boss. I couldn't ask for a better boss. She has supported us from the word go. Without her, I don't know where we'd be. My associate vice president, Christy Honeycutt, I know she's here somewhere way up there in the back. Again, from the word go, they have supported me and basically given me anything I needed to make sure that this program, was the best around. Also want to thank, he's not here tonight, Dr. Jeff Parsons, phenomenal man. He has supported me, supported this program, supported this college, and without him, the college would not be as good as it is. My success coach, Tony Roy, I think she's up in the back there. Thank you, Tony, for everything you do to assist us in getting these students registered for class and handling all those needs. And last, Dr. Enamite. When I took this job a couple years ago, he told me exactly, what he expected out of me and what he wanted this program to continue to be. And he has been supportive in every aspect of what we do here. And without him, we would be lost. So Dr. Enamite, thank you for everything that you do for us. And lastly, our instructors. I can't say enough about our instructors. What a lot of people don't realize, our instructors most of them are still full-time law enforcement officers. They work a full-time job. They come in here on their days off to teach. So they give up those valuable days off with their family to come in here and teach these young cadets. And they do it time and time again. Some of these classes are very long, 10, 12-hour days, in the pouring rain, the wind. The driver's training this year, the wind was blowing 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. But they're out there. Firearms, they're out there in the rain, laying in the mud. They're here every time. So if you are an instructor, whether you teach for this college or any college, would you please stand and be recognized? Come on, guys. I know you're shy. Thank you. Graduates, you have chosen a noble profession. Face every day with a positive attitude and never compromise your integrity or that of a law enforcement professional. Education is paramount. I challenge you to never stop learning because just as BLET continues to evolve with the times, so will the law enforcement profession. Several of your instructors wanted to express they weren't able to come tonight, so they wanted me to express their congratulations to you on a job well done. A cornerstone, and you've heard this echoed through several speeches tonight, a cornerstone for this profession is our code of ethics. Every day these students come to class, the first thing they do, they pledge allegiance to our flag, and they recite our code of ethics because that is paramount in what we do as law enforcement professionals. So cadets, For the last time as a BLET student, the 10 hood. About face.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duties. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for coming. We are going to have a reception. The program says that it's going to be at the Eddings Building, but unfortunately, we had to move the location. It'll be in the Webb Center, so when you exit the building at the top of the stairs, it'll be the building to your right. So please join us for a reception. Again, let's give a round of applause for our cadets.